Hello friends and welcome to my new vlog. This is literally the last day of 2025. It seems what a journey. I'm still kind of in the post-Christmas feeling. I've not put on a Christmas jumper today because I've worn my Christmas jumper so much. Excuse me, there's a label here. Oh dear, don't like that. I've worn my Christmas jumper so much in December, as you should. I've got a little bit tired of them. I've today had my last Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer crumpet for my breakfast, and it was really fun to have something a bit different. I'm still enjoying my decorations. By the way, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Kate. I'm Kate Sanderson. I'm an actor, and I've moved a year ago now to this house in Essex, which I'm trying to do up. I'm still really in a bit of a mess. So some of my vlogs are about tidying up my house, but I do all kinds of things. During Christmas, I would say that because I've had to, when it's a time of festivity, you make things look as nice as possible. I would say that all kinds of messy corners that I've shoved things into have really stood out to me a lot more because I really would like everything to be nice. And in my old house, everything at Christmas really was nice. So that's been a learning thing for me. If you are a fan of my channel, you've seen previous videos. I recently cleared off my desk in the middle room there, and it was so nice just to have my desk clear. Well, as I started to tidy up all these messy corners, of course, my desk got all bundled up with stuff again. However, I took a slightly different viewpoint to it, and what I did was I got a little bunch of carnations and I put them in a vase on the desk with all the mess around it. And then that kind of changed my feeling. Instead of tidying up my desk, which is a bit boring, oh dear, sorry, piles of stuff, you see. Instead of tidying up my desk, which is a bit boring, I was beautifying my desk. And I found that that really helped me to get on, sort out all these things that were sort of lying around and get my desk back to being clear again. So first of all, just really quickly, I'll go and show you my desk. Maybe we can see Cookie. Okay. This is my cat Cookie. He's really a lovely pussycat, and he's my great friend. He has diabetes, so I'm giving him injections twice a day. If you're new, you maybe don't know him. Cookie. Oh dear, I've got to get more tidied up. Okay, right. Well, friends, here is my desk, which is looking clear, and those are the carnations I mentioned. By putting up those carnations, it really gave me some faith to tidy up my desk again. It's so difficult when you have a clear space and you're clearing up. Of course, it gets filled up with clutter, but in the end of the day, it got cleared up again. So there we go. Forgive my tummy rumbling. I really need to have lunch. Above my desk, I've now put up some art and some pictures. So if you'll remember, if you know my channel, I had this print framed when I went to Frinton to the art gallery there. And I decided to put it right above my desk so that if I ever was feeling a bit cold or wintry, I can see this little mouse looking really idyllic. And then here I have a certificate I got from a Christian film festival in New York in 2019. It was so wonderful to go to New York and have my film screened at the festival. It was just lovely. Oh, I want to go back to New York. And then here I've got a picture of myself in my first role that I played on the London stage. I was Mrs. Lily Mortar in the Children's Hour at the Barons Court Theatre. And then here is my degree. And that's lovely, always like that. Here we have a print that my mum had, and it shows a kind of field. I think that the harvest's been taken in, and it's looking a bit bleak, but probably the farmer is quite relieved because they've got their crops in and hopefully got a good price for them. So it's like the work of the year is over. So that kind of balances my summer picture. And then here, I just have a little sort of pin board where I put odd things. So I've got an angel, I decoupage there. And here's a little gift tag my sister gave me for my Christmas present saying Jingle Bells. It's just tiny, but it's so cute. And then as it's the end of the year and I'm going to do some goal setting, I've got, beg your pardon, I've got this quote from the Bible. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Matthew 21:22. I wonder if there's a more simple way of putting it on the other side. I can't remember. Be confident God is able by Woodrow Kroll. Okay, so that's not the same. Yeah. When you set goals, I think it's a bit like well, it's what you're asking for in prayer, whether you believe in religious things or not. So I do believe that when you ask for things in prayer, you do get them if they're good for you, if they're right for you. So there you go. Now on to some goals. I think in past years, I used to always set New Year goals. And I have to say, I thought I quite often had success with them. I think when you make goals, it does have an effect. I would say, if you are new to my channel, you won't know this, but my mum had dementia and I looked after her for a number of years. And when I looked after my mum, of course, everything else just gradually fell off. And it's just a lot of work and attention every day, which I gladly gave my mum, though by the end I was really getting quite fed up. It was beyond me to look after her. She needed to be in a home, unfortunately. And I was continually feeling angry because I couldn't cope and I couldn't do what I needed to do for her anymore. Anyway, but I would say that when you do when you're a carer or life gets very hectic like that, maybe if you have, for example, young children, you're just basically getting through each day, dealing with each problem as it turns up, and there's really no time for extra reflection and frills, because you're just probably very tired once you've done everything you had to do. But I want to get back into goal setting. And I also feel that it's very good to have a gratitude book. I used to do that as well. Every day I would write down some things I was grateful for, and that enabled me to feel more positive and to get more things I was grateful for. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. Let's have a look at my desk. I've got something already set up. So in addition to being a religious person, which I am, I'm a great fan of this spiritual teacher called Louise Hay. She was a minister in the Church of the Science of Mind. I think she was ordained in that she could marry people and stuff. And she was also a superb positive thinking teacher. And she had this affirmation kit, and affirmations are positive statements that you make but with which you improve your feelings about life and draw things to you. I think there's a little picture of her on here. Louise Hay, yes. I remember that once Louise Hay did come to London sometimes to do talks, and there was a talk she went to that I could have gone. I think my mum was well enough, I could have left her, but it was just about £50 or £40 or something, and I just didn't feel I could afford it. And I'm very sad now because Louise Hay has passed on and I won't ever get to see a talk of hers. But then I can see her on the internet every day and I can work with her resources. So that's wonderful. And what this affirmation kit gives you, they've got these magnetized words and letters. And then there are some cards that Louise Hay's already made up, and a booklet and a CD. So I got this on eBay and it's really lovely. And another thing that I was doing before my mum got sick and now I'm getting back into. So here I've got a little magnetic board as part of the kit, and it says, I've just written out, I am happy, big TV show. I would love to be in a big TV show. I think that would be great. And then I've also just chosen these words: peaceful, opportunity, health, grateful, abundance. So yeah, that's what I've got here. But a big TV show this year, that would be lovely. Okay, next of all. Oh, by the way, I've got a calendar with 365 daily affirmations. So I'll start that tomorrow. We'll look at that tomorrow. But today is the last day of 2025, so I will come to that tomorrow. Right. What I have here is just a simple piece of paper, but actually it's seed paper. There are seeds inside this paper. And what I want to do now is write some goals for this year and then plant this paper in a nice tub with some soil and let the seedlings come up and see. Hi friends, this is Kate from the future. Yesterday I did my goal setting as I showed you, and I did a whole clip of my goals. I had one sheet of the paper, I had private goals. On the other side of the sheet I had public goals on my seed paper that I was going to share with you, and I explained everything I was doing, and that clip has completely vanished. I feel it's kind of spiritual, because I feel perhaps we really shouldn't share our goals with people because they may bring doubts or feel you're being silly or something. I would say one gist of what I was trying to say was that one of my public goals was I want to feel lighter and healthier. I did it rather than I want to lose weight, because I feel that's a more positive way of putting it. When you have the thing, I need to lose weight, that's a bit depressing. Whereas when you say I want to feel lighter and healthier, it's got possibilities. It's a bit more kind of fun and uplifting. So anyway, I was going to show you these goals. Gradually over the year, as those goals hopefully come true, I'll maybe tell you that they came true and refer back to it. Obviously, I've got a list of all my goals, but anyway, that's what happens. So that's why we jump now to the burying the seed paper in my planter. Okay. Phew. Okay guys, here's my planter. Not surprisingly, it's pink. If you know me, you know I love pink. I've had to poke these holes in the bottom. I mean, there were holes, but you had to poke out the plastic bits. So now I will put in some drainage, gravel, and then the soil. Okay, now some soil. The soil's pretty full of clods. I better do it up. Right. Back in a second. Okay guys, so here's my goal sheet going in there. Here is another bit of scrap seed paper that I've got here. Just put it all in and we'll cover it up with soil. Just a second. Okay, almost done. I think I'm going to take this inside to let the seedlings come up, especially if it's frosty. I mean, I've no idea what these seeds are, but I'm glad I've done this, and that's a good job for today. Okay, well, I mean, I'm putting them there. I'll give them some water every day. Despite this rubbish on the other side of the glass, there is a lot of sun coming through here, so I think this will be a good place for the seedlings to start off with. And I hope at the end of the year I can reflect back on my goals and see what happened, and hopefully get this odd bits of mess tidied up as well. Not that plant there, there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, just get my house organised. Okay. Here's something a bit awesome. It's the Katie Bush Band. Kate Bush's backing band are doing a gig in Frinton on the 10th of January, and I won't be here. But I would have really loved to see this because, I mean, Kate Bush is just so amazing and she hardly ever performs. And so to see her backing band is like, well, it's the next best thing that you're going to get. And I wish I could see them, but I can't. But anyway, they will be performing in Frinton on the 10th of January if you can go. So yeah, wow. Well, there we are, the last day of the year. Put some flowers in the hallway. I cleared out a lot of books from here, and I've put more sort of paperback books in these shelves, which are really falling to bits, but still they're working, they're okay. And yeah, let's let the old year finish up, and what will have happened by this time next year? My mum really liked these sorts of wooden calendars. Every day she liked the ritual of changing over the day. And we went to the Columbia Road Flower Market one Sunday, and my mum picked up this candle holder. So I'm remembering her today too. So the new year comes in, and let's hope it's a wonderful one. Well, friends, Happy New Year. It is January the 1st. This is my angel flip calendar. It says, all your tomorrows are well taken care of by us. Have faith and trust that your needs will always be met now and in the future. So we've got a lovely angel with a peace lily. Yes, this is kind of where I do my editing and stuff, and I still got that awful TV. Oh dear God, I'm praying that this time next year I will have paid someone to get rid of that TV. Okay, and here I have my Angel of Abundance with all their gold coins, and I'm going to put some other things up here too, but yeah, that's maybe for another day. Well, good morning everybody. Happy New Year. My goodness, it's 2026. I relented about, I got one of my Christmas sweatshirts. Again, I've got a gingerbread sweatshirt and my gingerbread mug. So I just thought, well, this time next week it'll be 6th of January and it's kind of time to put these things away. Though I know some people don't put away their Christmas stuff on the 6th of January, so fair enough. It seems like so long since like yesterday, and so long since I watched that next bit of Stranger Things after Christmas. As I said, I thought it was wonderful, and tonight, it's the 1st of January, of course, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch the last episode. I've seen a lot of things on YouTube about people really not liking it and not liking Will saying he's gay and really feeling angry about it. And I was completely absorbed by the whole thing. I must say that when there's a point at which they stop to have this long conversation, but when they're on their way to rescue the children, and I did find that a bit but I felt that was a dramatic device to make you more impatient for the drama to unfold. I felt it was deliberate they were doing that, though it didn't in a sense make altogether sense. But I loved the whole episode and it was brilliant and whatever. So tonight's the night for the last bit. I'm stunned. Can't wait. I will of course tell you tomorrow what I think. I suspect I'm going to like it. I've also really been enjoying this series Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's just a lovely story about a lady who has the ability to see spirits who've not passed over yet, and it's really, really nice series. It's one of those series where everything is always kind of dewy. I've only seen the first season, but it all seems to be in summer. Their outfits are like from the early 2000s. They're just so pretty and beautiful clothes and makeup. She's living in this slightly tumble down house that her husband's doing up, but he's a lovely person, and it's a really elegant house, really stylish. It makes today's fashion and all the thing about sweatpants and yoga stuff look really kind of insipid. The fashion in the past was really good. So even if you're just a fashion person, I recommend Ghost Whisperer, though I'm also loving the stories and the acting, and it's really nice. As I say, she also has her own antique shop, so she's not kind of responding to some nasty boss all the time, which is probably most people's fantasy. So they've created a lovely world for you to join in Ghost Whisperer. So thank you, it's lovely. I've also been watching the Netflix series Talamasca, which is an Anne Rice story, which I'd never read, and I'm really, really enjoying that too. So yeah. Later today, just after my tea, I'm probably going to go to my desk and, yesterday I did the planting of my goals, and I'll just look at my new I Can Do It calendar from Louise Hay and, yeah, do some more preparational stuff like that. So thank you for being with me, and I'm going to finish my tea now because, yeah, it's been already quite a busy morning. Happy New Year! I've got this really pretty plate of two little Victorian girls ice skating. I got this in a charity shop in Islington about 5 Christmases ago. I think my mum actually bought me this. Oh, it's so sweet. And I've got this wonderful kind of crispy cake. It's like an enhanced crispy cake from a bakery. Oh, I could only have half of it because it was so big. Anyway, I think there's nothing like the time of day when you just have some 11s or some anytime cup of teas. I brought out my Christmas mug because, I kind of felt like, along with this sweatshirt, it's this time next week it will be over, and it's a nice mug. I also found, my Santa with the unspooling the toilet paper, that's like a little owl on his, it's like a little owl. Bizarre, very unusual for Santa to have owls are normally a bit Halloweeny, but however, there she goes. I also went to some Christmas sales again, and I got another pink tree, this little pink one there. Again, it was only 75p, so to tell you the truth, I shouldn't buy any more Christmas stuff, but it's only 75p, and I will like that next year. In fact, I'm liking it this year, so there you go. On to my diary. Okay, friends, well, here is my I Can Do It calendar from Louise Hay, which I've now set up. And there's just this beautiful sort of sunset on the front of the card. And then they've got 2 cardboard things for you to rest it up like that. So, right, let me open up the first page. So I see that this bit actually tears off, which is lovely. You could use it in a scrapbook or something. And then here we have Louise Hay, 365 daily affirmations. I can do it. And my first affirmation, let's see. Okay, as an introduction, I will read this. Yes. Okay. January. As the new year begins, I notice how much emphasis is on resolutions. It seems as if we receive nearly constant messages about all the things we need to change about ourselves. This may be true for some, but I choose to focus on acceptance. I no longer wait to be perfect. I love and approve of myself as I am, right here and right now. That is so important. While I may want to make improvements here or there, I allow myself to take a deep breath of life and just be. All is truly well in my wonderful world. That's just beautiful. Okay, right. So there's a January sort of calendar thing. And then, January the 1st, this is it. The turning point in my life has come. I am open and receptive to having a future I love. Okay, so then I think basically, so tomorrow, each day there is another affirmation. That's lovely. I'm thrilled. The turning point in my life has come. I am open and receptive to having a future I love. What I feel is that life is so busy that time just runs away from you, and it's important to realize every day is a day when you can be effective, you can do things, there are choices. And this year I want to value each day and not just wearily trudge on from one thing to the next and try and catch up with myself. So that's a negative way of putting it, but that's why I want to appreciate each day. And that's why I feel that this calendar, every day opening my new affirmation, should be really helpful. Phew, okay. So I'm assuming that once you've reached the end of that day, for example, you tear this off and I suppose put it into a scrapbook or throw it away or something. Yeah, I'm bad at throwing things away, but I will just see how I go. You could pass these on to someone else, I guess, or you could use them for inspiration. Oh, it is so nice to have my desk clear and be able to do things. I'll just quickly show you one thing from my past that I found as I tidied up. It's a little... Yes, this is an old painting book, sketchbook that I had, that I found recently while tidying. In my old bedroom, I used to live in a lovely tenement flat in Glasgow. I had a mantelpiece with these sort of Dutch tiles, and before I moved away, I painted all the tiles. That's nice. Oh, I remember all these. Maybe I should put one of these up in a little frame or something. Oh, there's a little rose. Always loved a rose. Okay, and then I've also painted this sonnet, that thou art blamed shall not be thy defect, for slander's mark was ever yet the fair. I'm afraid that's true, actually. That's cynical, but it's true. I could put this up as well. That's nice. I think this was a tile in the sitting room. I like that tile as well. And then here's some little birds that were on our painted stained glass and some flowers. Yeah. Okay. Lovely the things you find when you do a tidy up. And here also, I'll just say it's my old diary. And on the last day of the year, I've written thank you. Because I want to say thank you to last year for all its difficulties and problems. It was still a year of moving forward and with lots and lots of things to be grateful for. So, yeah, I had last year the Astro Moon Diary. I'm very interested in the moon and I would love to learn sort of more about the moon, but actually I was so busy last year I didn't really learn anything about the moon. So unfortunately I didn't use the diary properly. And I now just bought quite an inexpensive mid-year diary that was on sale at WH Smith. It's pretty boring looking, but still, I'm grateful to this diary and I'm grateful to 2025. Bless you. And now onwards to the future. And I've also realised that you can put the discarded papers back into the box and then you can go take them back and use them as you wish. So there you go. Louise Hay. Louise Hay, you thought of everything. Okay, on to lunch. Hi friends, it's still the 1st of January. I thought today I would try and make something I've been meaning to make for ages for my lunch, but I've never done before. So I think I've got everything ready, so I'll just turn the camera around and show you what I've got. So there we go. Years ago in a charity shop, my mum bought this little sort of flan tin. No, it's not tin, it's china, but it basically shows you, it has a recipe on it called vegetable layer bake, which seems to be mainly potatoes, carrots, mushrooms, cheese, and an egg, and some milk. It all seems very simple. I've now, I think, kind of assembled everything. Um, it only just occurred to me that once I've sort of put down the first layer of stuff in the tin, I won't be able to read the recipe anymore. So I have now taken a photo of it. But no, I just thought it would be fun to try this. My mum always, I suppose, meant to make this and she never did. So mum, wherever you are, up in heaven, I'm making the vegetable layer bake today on the first day of this year. So first of all, I think I've got to butter the inside of the tin, the pan. Yes, it is a flan. I'm a grown-up person. I have a flan dish. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm dying to see how this is going to taste. This recipe is for 3 or 4 people apparently, so I guess I can have it for a few days. Okay, first of all, we layer it with half of the potato slices. So, yeah. It looks quite a small flan dish. I mean, I'm kind of wondering if there's actually going to be enough room for everything. But we'll see. I really have tried to do everything as precise as possible. But this is kind of fun. I've never had a recipe that's just for a particular item. Okay, put in a layer of mushrooms. Okay, layer of mushrooms. Okay, then we have a layer of carrots. This is certainly pretty simple. Maybe they designed this flan recipe thing for like students or for people who are setting up home. Okay, layer of carrots. I must say the carrots always add a lovely bit of colour to anything that you do. In fact, I kind of like carrot soup. Seeing these carrots is making me think of like having carrot soup as well. And let's see, we're to season with some salt and pepper. And sprinkle some cheese. I imagine this is going to be pretty rich. Okay, and then add the rest of potatoes. Okay, rest of the potato. Oh, it's quite a thick slice of potato there. Okay, and then I think I have to put on the rest of the butter. So, little bits of butter. Ooh, that looks very, very fattening. Ooh. Okay, I don't think that's even the amount of butter that they recommend. I think they recommend more butter. Okay. Right, and then I think I've got to beat up the egg and the milk and stuff, so I'll just come back in a second. Okay, let's see. Am I in the right way? Okay, I've now done my beating up of my egg and milk. I'm going to pour it in. I'm really nervous that there's not going to be, it's going to overfill or there won't be enough or something, you know. I bet there's a whole science to making flans. It's hopefully just going to run in everywhere it needs to go. Okay. Okay, well, that seems to have gone in. I really hope that's right. And then let's see, I have to sprinkle the rest of the cheese on the top. And then I sprinkled my cheese on top. I'm just hoping this is right because I can see that the flan, the liquid is not up to the top of the flan tin, so it's not actually, maybe I should put in a little bit more milk or something, I don't know. Hi friends, I've really got to delete more stuff from my phone. I keep running out of footage. the flan's in the oven and it's smelling nice. It's really smelling lovely. Not as good as the cinnamon buns, my awful cinnamon buns. They smelled great. But I will now clear up the kitchen and get ready to have some lunch. And my goodness, first lunch of January 2026. Here we go. I've changed over Mum's calendar down here as well. Quite late in the day. It is getting dark now. But my goodness, 1st of January. What will 2026 bring? I really hope at the end of the year, my last vlog of this year, that there are lots of good things will have happened for everybody. And it will be a really wonderful year. Okay, I must go and have a look at my flan. Okay friends, well there you go. It looks as if I've got some lovin' from the oven and not a burnt offering like with my cinnamon buns. So it's looking nice. I don't have a pie slice. I did actually buy a pie slice and it then it broke because it had a china handle. So it's looking nice. Looking nice. I really hope it's worked out and I will now maneuver some onto my plate and have a taste test. So it's smelling really, really nice. All that cheese, of course, it would smell nice. Let's try a bit of egg and carrot and stuff. That is really nice. And for the 1st of January on this really very cold day, it's good. It's good. Okay, right. Well, there we go. I'm going to have my lunch and I will see you later. Bon appetit. Finally, I've got my Nutcracker sweet candle on. Very cute. Okay. Okay, guys, I've got my last fruit rollers out. Code Red and Black Vine. So it can only mean that it's the final ever episode of Stranger Things and Cookie and I are going to sit and watch it tonight. I'm sure I'm going to love it. So yeah, I'm very thrilled to be watching this and I'm going to have my cup of tea now. I've also got a Florentine and on with Stranger Things. I'm not skipping the intro. Hello, Cookie. Let's watch it. The right side up. It's the 2nd of January now, and I just feel that this affirmation from yesterday was so true. I do feel it's a turning point in my life, and I do feel that everything's going to change this year. So this has been really powerful for me. Let's see the next one. I am an active participant in this world. I am an eager student with an intense desire to learn. Another thing I like about this affirmation is it's about being sort of proactive, not just the world sort of trudging on from day to day. It's like you're going out there and you're doing stuff you want to do. This amazing, lovely goat, Go Goat, that's up on what looks like a Swiss mountain. He's making his own world every day. He's following his own path. I once went to Switzerland with my school and did skiing. I wasn't very good at skiing, but I thought Switzerland was quite dazzling. And I would love to return there in winter and also in summer. So maybe this year I can get back to Switzerland and maybe even see a lovely goat like this, though I don't think I would be going up to the top of a mountain like that. But yes, I really like this affirmation. I'm not going to do every day my affirmation for this vlog. That would get very much, but I just thought this is lovely. Okay. Hi guys, it's the next morning. I couldn't open up my Stranger Things fruit rolls actually because every time I tried to, the crackly noise made Cookie, my cat, think that he was getting a treat and he actually wasn't, and then he'd look very crestfallen, so I ended up not having them. So maybe I'll keep them for a Stranger Things marathon weekend to watch it all again. Anyway, that cat, I mean, he just literally, I mean, he's running the house. He runs me. Okay, right. So, yes, it's the morning after the last episode of Stranger Things. I really enjoyed it. I'm very glad that none of the main characters were killed. I kind of wished at the end that Eleven would reappear, but that's just me being really kind of lame and kind of wanting everything to be all neat and tidy. I would say that I really liked it. I think it was very interesting where all the characters went in their different sort of ages and stages. Uh, I felt really, to be honest, I think there will be another series of Stranger Things. Maybe it will be in 10 or 15 years, but I felt that they laid the groundwork that they certainly could do another series, because you know, it all could happen. And yeah, it was, I must say that having Stranger Things be over for the foreseeable future, for me, it is a thing. I mean, I'm actually quite sad that it's over. I mean, you know, Stranger Things withdrawal, because it was such a towering show, and I really loved it. I mean, of course, things have to come to an end. As I say, I do feel they'll eventually make another one because they have all the elements that they can do it. Maybe it'll be a big movie one day, something they'll just bring everyone back and it will be a kind of phenomenon, and I will really love that. And in the meantime, of course, you can enjoy all the story again. It's all complete now. The one thing perhaps I just didn't quite like was I didn't like at the high school where um the oh, I'm terrible with remembering names, but the guy who's the valedictorian of the school, he sort of tells the headmaster to get lost and really kind of ranks him out, and I just felt it was a bit sad, you know, because they've been through so much, and you'd think that he's talking in his speech about how we should be closer together and more empathic, which is wonderful. But then, you know, telling the headmaster to go jump off a board, it's just a bit rude. I mean, of course, I don't remember in the earlier episodes, maybe the headmaster was a really horrible person, but compared to the horrible individuals like Vecna they were dealing with, surely he can't have been that bad. So that was the only thing that wasn't really me. But you know, I guess I'm just a bit of a kind of Pollyanna. And still, it was amazing. And yeah, it's it's over, but it was great, and I'm grateful for it. And what a wonderful start to the year. I got some of these little gingerbread star biscuits my sister sent me. They're delicious. I think I'm gonna enjoy my tea now. Hi again. I feel I'm going to stop this video here. This vlog I think is now long enough. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you are new to my channel, thank you for clicking on the video. I do hope you will come back and see more of what I do. And anyway, to everybody that's watching, please have a lovely week and happy 2026. Happy New Year, and I will see you on my next vlog.